But good news for Sense is the next category is the keyboard. So we'll go ahead and open up Color Note really quick. So I'll hit cancel on this. Open up Color Note. We'll do Test Note. And pretty much the only advantage on the TouchWiz UI here is the keyboard gives you the option to have handwriting input. So if I wanted to write with my, like I would on a piece of paper, I could write hi and it'll get it. If I want to delete, I can just tap back like that. So pretty cool, kind of like it is on the Galaxy Note. But that's pretty much it. Honestly, I don't really like the keyboard on here. I've talked about that in the review of the Galaxy S3. Just not that accurate. I mean, if I were to type something like, I don't know, let's say house. Whoops. Oh, you can see I messed up there, but let's type in house. And let's say that's not what I wanted, right? I hit space, but I decide that's not what I wanted. I go back, and if I wanted to make it horn, if I type in RN E, for example, I know that's not how you spell horn, but to get my point across, you can see that it tries to give me a different word, where on Sense, it doesn't do that. So anyway, we'll go ahead and talk about the advantages of Sense. And the keyboard here, I actually really like it because one, you have the ability to do swipe, but that's also on the, slide your finger across to make words, but that's also on TouchWiz. But the main thing that I like is that the autocorrect is much better. So we'll do the same thing. We'll type in house and then hit space and then back out of it. And this time you can see if I wanted to type horn, it would give me different suggestions based off of what I'm typing instead of thinking I'm starting another word. So it's a lot smarter in that regard. Another thing is when you're editing text, so let's just write text really quick. You actually have this little magnifying glass, which makes it a little bit easier to select, what you want on the phone. And then the last thing is that you have these little directional arrows. So for example, if I didn't want to use that magnifying glass, I can just tap this little directional arrow to the left to kind of move my cursor right and left or up and down, which does make, text editing a lot easier with the Sense UI. So anyway, the obvious win here goes to Sense. Definitely like the keyboard better on this guy. And the official score now after that is 4 for TouchWiz and 3 for Sense. So let's go ahead and go over the extra features that come on each device. Alright, so I know this video is getting kind of long and it's about to get longer because both of these UIs have a whole bunch of extra features. We'll start with TouchWiz. So the first thing is motion control. So I'm not going to go in depth about it, but basically you have a whole bunch of extra features. I did a separate review on this on the channel, so you guys want to learn more, check that out. Let's show you a few, like Smart Alert. Smart Alert basically, Smart Stay. Smart Stay lets you use the front-facing camera to detect your eyes when you're looking at the screen, and it won't turn off if you're actually looking at it, even if the standby time is like 30 seconds. So if you're looking at it for a minute reading an article, it'll detect that you're reading it and it won't turn it off. So it's really smart. Other things like swiping your palm across the screen to take a screen capture like that. Pretty cool little features. But anyway, so I'll talk about that. You have the power saving feature, which pretty much underclocks the processor to like 1 gigahertz instead of 1.5 gigahertz, which does save you a lot of battery, and it's a great way to save battery. Another thing is voice and face unlock. Again, I did a separate review on the channel, but I'll show you really quick. It adds on to Ice Cream Sandwich's face unlock. It adds voice recognition into the mix, which does make it a little bit more secure. So that's pretty cool. Another thing is you can see up here at the top, I enabled my battery percentage. So really easy to see how much battery you have left instead of trying to guess based off that little icon. And last thing is you have the LED indicator. Not really that big of a deal, but you have the option to, if you don't want it to, for example, turn on when you're charging the LED right over here, you could uncheck that guy and, customize it a little bit. So it gives you a little bit more control over what you could do. We'll go ahead and talk about the advantages of Sense now. And first thing is that you go to the personalized tab and you'll see pretty much all the advantages. One is your scenes and skins. The scenes let you change, pretty much everything on your home screen. So for example, right now I'm on the work scene, which has a lot of, widgets and shortcuts that are related to work. But if I wanted to go to social, it'll give me widgets that are related to Facebook, Twitter, etc. Of course, I have to have those things installed, but you see like the people right over here. I have my texting over here, and FriendStream, which integrates all your social media into one little feed, which is pretty cool right over here. So you can see how you can just change it on the fly like that. Pretty cool. Skins let you customize the look of your phone. So if you want to change the colors of the layouts and stuff, you can do that. You have fast boot, so it's under power, And fast boot, basically what it does is, what the name says, it makes your phone boot up a lot faster. I'll say maybe even 4 to 5 times faster. I did a separate video again on the channel if you guys want to check that out. A few other things I want to go over really quick is app associations. Basically, if you have 2 browsers, it's an awesome way to be able to just make one the default over the other instead of having to go through the settings or through each application setting. So pretty cool way of managing your phone there. Another option that you have is memory cleaning. You go into storage, you hit make more space, and it'll clear out the cache of some of your apps that you don't necessarily need. So pretty cool little feature there. The browser has, a read mode where it'll take out all the ads and things like that and make it a lot easier to read an article. And of course, it has Beats Audio, in the software, which optimizes your sound experience. So overall, I mean, it's really, really close. I'd say it's almost a tie, but if I have to give a slight edge to somebody, or to One UI, it'd be the TouchWiz, mainly because, the power saving feature, the smart state feature, and things like battery percentage really make more of a difference to me, at least. I know to some of you guys it might not be the same, but the smart state feature is awesome if you're reading articles, and with a big screen like this, you're going to be doing that a lot more than you would think. And things like power saver really do help to save battery, and apps on the market can't necessarily do that. You'd have to root your phone and underclock it, things like that. But that's why I give the win here. But like I said, it's really close, barely a win for TouchWiz. Next thing I'll talk about is appearance. This one's a pretty easy win for me to give it to Sense. Overall, it just looks better. I mean, take one look at the settings and you can pretty much tell that HTC took a little bit more time refining their user interface. I mean, it looks a lot cleaner. This guy looks like it did, in Gingerbread, and now we're on ICS. Looks pretty much the same. You have that little blue glow at the bottom, where on HTC Sense, you go like this and it kind of separates the tabs based off where my finger is. So cool effect, but it's not just that. Pretty much anywhere you go, you have cool little transitions. Like, for example, the world clock, you have a full-on globe, where on this guy, you go to the world clock, and you have nothing but, just a boring old clock like that. So you can see the difference here. I could go around and I could zoom in. Just a lot more graphically, appealing. I don't know how to say that. But anyway, that's that. You have this little cube animation effect that pretty much is everywhere throughout the phone. So you could go like from tab to tab like this, which does make it look pretty cool. That same 3D cube effect is on the home screen, as you guys can see right here. Kind of has this little cube effect. Go to the phone application and same thing, you have the cubes. Pretty much anywhere you go. Another thing about the appearance is the applications themselves look better. Like, for example, the voice recorder on here. So if I go to voice recorder, where is it? There it is. It just looks really, really nice. There's a little microphone here, and as I'm talking, it detects, my voice like that. So really cool, animations overall. Just looks a little bit cleaner. That's that. The win goes to Sense again. So that now the official score is 5 for TouchWiz and 4 to Sense. And the last thing I'm gonna talk about is ease of use. Not necessarily like, ease of use for the OS, because they're both Android. They're both running Ice Cream Sandwich in this case. But what I'm talking about is, one-handed use. And though the TouchWiz UI does give you this advantage right here, which I talked about earlier, which lets you go from home screen to home screen like this, which does make it easier for one hand. Overall, I feel like it's a little bit easier on Sense because, for example, on the phone application, everything I need as far as my tabs go are right over here at the bottom. So makes it a lot easier to reach, especially with these big screens, instead of having to reach to the top, which is what you have to do with TouchWiz. You have to go all the way to the top, and it's kind of hard to do with screens that are 4.7, 4.8 inches large. So anyway, that's an advantage for for Sense. So overall, the score is 5 to 5. Hate to do that to you guys, but I mean, I really feel like the two UIs are really, really close. Obviously, one is gonna appeal to you compared to the other. To me, I mean, they're pretty equal. I do like the way Sense looks a lot. I wish that Samsung would do a better job making it look a little bit more refined, like HTC does. But I don't know. For one thing that I like on HTC, I like another thing on Samsung's TouchWiz. So it's really a personal preference type of thing. But hopefully this gives you a better idea as far as which user interface is better for you. That's it for me in this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button. It helps me out a lot, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.